Off the top of your head, can you ever remember a Chelsea player coming in and having the sort of impact in their first season that Cole Palmer has?
Could you say Diego Costa had a pretty good impact in his first? That's the only one that sort of springs to mind. What was it? 20? Was it 20 goals in that first season?
It must have been about that.
Yeah,
it must have been about that. I'll tell you what, he had a big old helping hand that season from Cesc Fabregas.
Mate, what an era that was of Chelsea Football Club.
Unbelievable. Do you know what the best thing about it is? We brought back a yellow kit.
Oh, I do love a yellow kit.
I'm a big sucker for a yellow kit.
It was that Auto Glass one. What year was that? Was that 98 or like 97?
Auto Glass was like up until 2001.
Because it was, at the time, people hated that kit because it had like light blue, grey. Like it was a weird, shade. Do you know what I mean? But
did we go, classic. We went Commodore?
Yeah, Commodore, yeah.
Cools.
By the way, we should do a whole video on this. I want to do a video rating Chelsea football kits. So give us a comment in the comments if you want us to rate all of these Chelsea kits, because there are some classics here. Right, so yeah, Commodore. Was it Cause?
Cause.
And then was Auto Glass after that. And then was it Fly Emirates after that?
And you know what the
and
funny,
then Samsung.
Obviously now, and I understand why they do it because it's business and whatnot, but new kit every season.
Yeah.
New home, new away, probably new third kit. Yeah, every single season. Back in the day, we just stick with the same kit for like 3 seasons. Like, do you remember the collar Fly Emirates? We had that for 2-3 seasons.
Yeah.
Then we got rid of the collar and we had the other Fly Emirates, and then we changed the badge after that, didn't we? So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some classic. Have you seen the one for this season coming up? The new one?
I have. Yeah. But I'm never like, I never really just look at a kit and be like, oh, unreal. Like, I normally have to get used to it.
I said that about this kit this season though. I thought it was unreal. And the sponsorless start, like, I almost wish that I bought 10 of those kits, because I do think we're going to look back on this kit, shit season, but overall kit, I would say this is one of the best kits we've ever had at Chelsea. What would you say is like your most iconic Chelsea kit?
Best ever Chelsea kit. Do you know what? Like, I actually do think back to that Fly Emirates with the collar, 2003, Hasselbank and Johnson banging in goals for fun. But if not that, the Hazard's first season when it had the gold on it, we just won the Champions League.
Yes,
that was a lovely kit.
Yes, the one that we won the Champions League in was a shit kit, but it always has that memory.
I'm not a fan of a Chelsea kit having red on. And the one we had the Champions League in had red on it.
And it had stripes as well.
Did it have red on it?
No, I don't think it did.
It did on the collar. A little bit of red.
Did it? Or was that the one before? The kit that I'm thinking of is the different shades of blue in stripes. That was the one we won the Champions League in. I don't remember that being a great kit. I'll tell you what as well, by the way, we've had a few really good away kits. The one that springs to mind for me is that black kit with the silver shorts. Do you remember those?
Oh, 04, 05. Drogba scored away at Selhurst Park in that.
I had that full kit.
I had that.
That was unbelievable. And then the white one with the stripe down the middle.
The blue.
Yeah.
And the unreal. If you can guess it, in one, that black kit.
Yeah.
If you guess who I had on the back of it, in one guess, steak dinner.
Fucking hell! Was it someone rogue then? It wasn't someone that I'd expect. Was it? It wasn't Joey Cole, was it? Was it Joey Cole?
You're close.
Was it Damien Duff?
No.
Oh fuck! Who was it? Tell me.
Prolific goal scorer.
Was it Hernan Crespo?
Way more prolific.
I don't know. Tell me. Go on.
PSV legend.
Kesman, was it? Oh, I had a Kesman. I think I might have had Kesman on that kit as well. I would never, mate, I would never have guessed that you'd have Kesman on your back. I would never have guessed that.
Do you know why I liked him?
Go on.
I was sort of pretty young. I was like year 6 last year of primary school, and he had like black spiky hair, and I just thought it was really cool.
Did you have the same haircut?
Yeah, I was a bit of a Spikle Michael.
Yeah. Full Brill cream hair. That's what it was.
I'll tell you who has got great hair.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer.
Legends.
Player of the season.
Legends.
He's just won it. He's
that trim is everything.
This is why I was saying about as a Chelsea player ever had the sort of impact that he's had. He's come in and in 36 games, not all of them starts, by the way. Remember him coming on against Villa. Remember him coming on against Bournemouth away. Remember Forest, I think he came on. He did come on in. So not all of them starts. I would guess out of the 36 games, probably like 31 starts, maybe 5 sub appearances.
Yeah.
And in those sort of 31 odd starts, 34 goal involvements.
Same amount of goal involvements, by the way, as Erling Haaland. If that doesn't tell you anything you need to know, he's playing for Man City up top. It's probably the most easy position to play in world football, I'd say, up top for City. Would you not agree? League Two player can play there.
Yeah, I would say it's probably the easiest. I mean, look at. Oh, no, I don't want to disrespect him. But, you know, we could probably think of one or two players that even maybe play for Chelsea that used to bang goals at City, and it doesn't really happen here. So who knows? Who knows? But do you know what I was thinking, right? I think if you were, you know, a betting man, which actually we both are, aren't we?
We are. Well, occasionally, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't really say I'm a betting man, because betting would suggest that I'll just bet with anyone, and I'll only bet with one. What
company. Bookies? What is that company? I can't remember what they're called.
Stake, mate.
Oh. God, they do have a good app, to be fair.
They have a great app. It's actually the easiest app that I've ever used, because I've used, you know, I won't name drop some of the bigger brands, but I've used a lot of them, you know.
Yeah.
And StateMate's the one that I'm just like, bomb, squads feature. You can't go on Sky Bet and effectively be in a WhatsApp group with your mates where you can build bets together. I go, you go. I go, you go.
Yeah. Usually it's you ruining your own bets, but this time I can actually ruin your bet.
I want your input. Because you know what it is? You know, when I'm sat there and, you know, I put a fourfold accumulator on and every single team I backed lost.
Yeah.
At least then I can go, yeah, but, you know.
Josh had 2.
Yeah.
I've gone for Luton this week, so I'm not sure if that's going to come in.
I'll go for Luton every fucking week.
Mate, I really hope Luton do it this weekend. I have to say, I really do. But I think we got a good chance on the bet this weekend. Chelsea going to do Nottingham Forest. Do
you know what I hope? I hope Luton lose.
Why?
Because it then makes the Nottingham Forest game a little bit easier for us, maybe. Because let's say Luton win. Yeah. If Luton win, then effectively by us beating Forest, we then say to Forest, this is going down to the final game, and they don't want that. They want to be on the beach before the final game. Do you know what I mean? Agreed. And I feel like if Luton win, all right, it doesn't mathematically do it, but it pretty much says, well, they're going down. So I feel like if Luton win, maybe Forest won't have as much fire in their belly to take us on. And listen, if they'll roll over and have their tummy tickled, I'll be very happy to tickle that tummy. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. Mate, come on, we can beat Forest. How far have we fallen now that we're not sure if we can beat Forest? Come on, the record has shown. Like, look at the Everton game. Like, Everton are a mid-table team, right? And we absolutely smashed them. Let's be honest.
Too right. But if you were a betting man, which is how we sort of got onto that, you wouldn't have won much money even if you had have remortgaged your house and put it on Cole Palmer to win player of the season.
I think that was probably the easiest player of the season that we've seen since Eden Hazard. Yeah. Would you not agree?
Since Eden Hazard, yeah, I think it probably is. But it got me thinking, and I think we might differ on this a little bit. If not Cole Palmer, who is Chelsea's player of the season this year?
It's quite an easy one, isn't it, mate? You know, you've got to think about consistent performances, a player that never puts a foot wrong, or at least not when he doesn't get a hospital pass, at least. I would go Moises Caicedo, personally, as my number 2.
Right. And you think that's quite obvious?
I think that's really obvious. Look at his performances, mate. I think he's been imperious in the middle, and I think so many people have been down on him and not giving him the credit that he deserves. This guy picks up the ball whenever he does. He plays a very, very good pass. And do you know what? His tackling has been exceptional. When he came in at the start of the season, I thought, do you know what? This guy dives into tackles sometimes. I'm not quite sure on it. But honestly, when he actually has some passes from defence that aren't absolute hospital passes from Disasi, I'm looking at you, mate. Do you know what I mean? I think he's actually looking so solid. The fact that he's in his early 20s still, mate, honestly, we've got an absolute goldmine there. I actually just forget about the price, because who cares? He actually is worth the price.
I would say so. Also, you know, compared to a few of his counterparts, or a lot of his counterparts, he stayed fit and available consistently for the whole season. That's probably harder to do in a position like his, where he is doing the scrappy work. He's looked amazing.
He's had to go to Ecuador, by the way, come back, play football, had to go on all those flights, still been fit. Like, look at Enzo. Enzo hasn't been able to deal with that.
They only fly him economy as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so Caicedo's had to deal with all that as well. So fair play to him, mate. He's been all over the world playing football, and I think he's looked absolutely exquisite. And I think a lot of the pundits and people that were doubting him are now looking back and saying, do you know what? He is actually worth it.
Definitely so. Definitely so.
But who would you say?
I would almost agree with you, but I see your Caicedo.
Yeah.
And I raise you.
Go on, who are you going to raise him with?
I am saying that Milo Gusto has been more impressive than Caicedo this season. Because, look, I do understand it, and I'd completely agree. Like, there's one thing that gets me annoyed, and it's people You don't get people talking bad about Cole Palmer or Malo Gusto. Where you get the odd person saying, penalty match. And, you know, like penalties are just easy to score. We're talking about buying Victor Osimhen in the summer. What's his success rate from the penalty spot? Do you know?
Don't know. You tell me.
It's about 60%.
Yeah, wow.
What's Cole Palmer's?
Yeah, they got 100.
Well, yeah, 100. Oh, yeah. Has he not ever missed a penalty?
No, not for us.
No,
we don't talk about that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Has he ever missed a pen? You know?
Oh, he must have.
No.
Youth career?
No.
Well, don't worry about that.
Too good. But what I am saying is this: as good as Caicedo has been, right? You get these people that go, oh yeah, he's a flop, whatever, and it's like you just don't watch it.
You just don't watch the games, and that's the key thing. Because if you did watch the games, you see him; he's absolutely imperious. He's brilliant.
Right, but Malo Gusto,
yeah,
for a young man to come over from France, right? By the way, in his however many outings he's had so far, I can't remember how many he's had, but he's had about 5 assists. Very good. Could have had way more. He is prolific at whipping that ball in from the side. He's got great delivery on him, whether it's from a set piece, whether it's from open play. Last season, right, whenever Reece wasn't there, which was a lot, we were papering over cracks. Whether it be a club legend who I believe was, you know, best days were behind him in Azpilicueta, whether it was sticking Trevor Chalobah over there, who we know is versatile, we know he can do it, but it's not, you know, his favourite position. Ruben Loftus-Cheek fielding at times. Either way, there was always a big crack and there was a noticeable decline when Reece James wasn't there. And in this young kid, Malo Gusto, he's come in and it's just not a concern of ours anymore. It's not a concern. And to have gone that far that in your debut season, people are questioning whether the club captain is going to get back in ahead of you, to a point, right, where I think me and you would agree, when Reece comes back into the team, I don't think we want to see him ahead of Malo Gusto. We want to see him in there.
Yeah.
We definitely want to experiment with maybe him in the right centre-back slot. Maybe if we changed position and went to a 3, that would work even better for him. Maybe he would come into holding midfield in a DM. But the fact that we're asking this question, for me, puts Malo Gusto right up there. Just obviously not on Cole Palmer's level.
Well, Reece James is probably our best player. Like, but at the start of the season, we were saying that Reece James is the only world class player we have in the entire squad.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. You know, Malo's done incredibly well. The thing that I'm thinking of, the only thing I'm not sure on in terms of player of the season, which is a big accolade, is the amount of game time that he's actually had in the team. So that's nothing to do with his quality or what he's done. The assists, as you're totally right, he could have had double the assists if we had some actual finishers in the team at the time. So, you know, for me, it's just, has he played as often as he could do? And for me, Caicedo has the ability to be available.
Think about it like this. Think about it like this, right, with Malo Gusto. And this I feel may prove my point ever so slightly.
Yeah.
The highest we could possibly finish in the league table this year is 5th, but it's unlikely. We're probably going to finish 6th at the height. We're probably not going to get that 5th because it would take a horrific run from Tottenham, and they've already been on a bit of a shit run, so you'd imagine that things would change from it.
And they've got Burnley and Sheffield United, so
that's it. Yeah. That's it. Whipping boys. Look at what we did to both of them 2 teams.
Yeah. That wasn't a draw where we should have won, by the way.
No.
That was one because people were giving us a banter, by the way, about our Villa Desmond Tutu.
Oh,
but
God.
Do you know what? Like, that was one of those games that we probably should have. We got lucky with.
So say we were to finish 6th, even say we finished 5th, yeah, that means if we finished 6th, there was 5 better teams in the league than us, yeah. Name me 5 better right backs in the league than Malo Gusto.
I can't. I can't. Honestly, can't.
Go on, name me 3.
God, Carl Walker.
This day, I knew you were going to say Carl Walker. This day, better right now.
Carl
Walker.
Walker. You come on. I think Man City. He's been so good for them. I think it's harsh on Malo Gusto, but you would say Carl Walker's better than him. Ben White is definitely.
Would Malo Gusto get it out at a bar and wave it around?
Yeah. Well, maybe he would.
Yeah, maybe.
In a weird way, I hope he does. Yeah.
You've got to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do to let steam off, you perform on the pitch. You do what you want.
Yeah. That's what all the City fans are saying, to be fair. Yeah. Carl Walker is one of the best right backs of all time, you have to say. Ben White has had a very good season for Arsenal.
He has had a very good season.
Very good. Not better than Malo Gusto.
He's not better than Malo Gusto. He's not.
I love that.
He's not better than Malo Gusto.
I love that. Pedro Porro has had a good season, but he's not better.
Off.
I'm not saying he's better. I'm not saying he's better. He's had a good season.
Go on then,
I can't think of. I mean, Dalot hasn't had a good season, has he? You know, I'm trying to think of other top teams. Liverpool, Trent hasn't been fit all season.
Is he a right back?
Yeah. Is he a centre midfielder more?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then Matty Cash has been all right for Villa, but he's nowhere near Malo Gusto. So yeah, maybe it's only Ben White and Kyle Walker. And as you say, I don't know if Kyle Walker's had as good a season as Malo Gusto has, but maybe Ben White just edges him.
So I think officially I'll pick Malo Gusto for best of the rest if it wasn't Cole Palmer, and you're going with Caicedo?
I would. I think he deserved that, yeah.
Right.
But it's interesting because Cole Palmer actually did vote for Malo Gusto, by the way. Because obviously he couldn't vote for himself.
Yeah.
So there you go.
He's got a brain in his head. He knows what he's doing. I'm just going to read this out to you quickly because, right, Chelsea reach verbal agreement over first summer signing as they close in on 27.5 million transfer of wonder kid Estêvão Willian.
Yeah. Do you know a lot about this guy?
I know fuck all about this
guy,
to be honest. What I have done...
I mean, you've watched a lot of Brazilian football, don't you? Yeah, you watch the Serie A.
I love a Brazilian.
You watch the Serie A all the time.
Yeah. What is that? What it's called?
Yeah.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you know what my thing is? And I've probably used this point before on the podcast, but I could go and do 6 rounds of sparring tonight, right?
Yeah.
And I could get absolutely bashed up, right? But if I put a highlights compilation together, a minute-long highlights of that 6 rounds of sparring, I could make myself look like Canelo. I could make myself look like I was absolutely brilliant. And that's not to say I'm not brilliant. And that's not to say that the guys you see these highlight reels of on YouTube aren't brilliant. But my problem is it's like everyone looks good on highlights. And this kid's being dubbed as the next Willian. Not Willian, he's fucking next Willian.
I mean, he would be pretty good if he was Willian, to be fair.
He's Willian, isn't he? Yeah. No, he's being dubbed as the next Neymar.
I mean, he's been dubbed as he's been called Messinho. So that tells you everything you need to know about this guy. So what I would say on this is neither of us have had the amount of time and energy that we need to do. There is a brilliant podcast that people can watch on this guy that I watched.
Podcast?
Joey Knight podcast first. That should be the first subscription.
Yeah.
And then if
the kickoff?
The kickoff second.
Yeah. The Josh Aveste channel?
Josh Aveste third.
Yeah.
There's a podcast called The Copper Club. Right, so if you type that in and type Estavio into that,
there's a place called the Copper Club, isn't there? And
there is.
You know what I'm about.
I'm pretty sure that's what it's inspired by.
Yeah. Oh no.
But there you go. So if you want to learn a bit more about this guy, I definitely watched that podcast. They had an expert on South America talking all about him, and I've watched that podcast, done a bit of research about this guy, and you know what? Everything that I've heard and read is that this should be one of the most exciting transfers that we've made in a very long time. It's actually worryingly optimistic, I would say.
How old is he?
He's just turned 17. Right? He turned 17 in April. So that means he won't be able to join us until April 2025.
What was you doing at 17?
Fuck all.
Really? What was you doing?
What was I doing at 17? I was at school, mate. I was at school. I wasn't even at uni. I was at school working my ass off trying to pass my A-levels. That was literally it. And gaming.
Working.
I was gaming a lot.
Were you?
I was playing a fuckload of Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 was pretty much my entire life at 17.
I never played COD.
Mate, Modern Warfare 2, I've made friends for life on Modern Warfare 2. People that I've never met in person that will be my friends for the rest of my life on COD Modern Warfare 2. I used to get my mate and we used to watch it and play it together, 2 screens in the living room. He used to bring his Xbox and we used to play it together. Shout out to David Heather, legend Dave. He was a legend, and we used to sort of have a LAN party there and play it. COD Modern Warfare 2 was one of the best games of all time.
Word of warning for you: you should be careful with who you talk to on these games over the internet, right? Because a lot of people that watch the channel might know I'm from a place called Epsom, yeah. Epsom in Surrey,
beautiful place,
lovely, idyllic. So like there was I went to meet this fella one day, yeah, and it's all like old built everywhere, like they've swarmed the road, yeah, and I'm like, what's gone on, mate? What happened? He went, someone just got I don't know if I can say the word because it might get demonetized, but you know what,
someone got hurt,
someone got
sharply
sharply hurt, sharp pain in that house over there. And then I was like, why? What happened? And he went, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, then when it comes out, mate, like,
I heard about this.
Have you heard about this?
Yeah. It was quite a famous story at the time.
It was a big story at the time.
Yeah.
So the kid's like nutty, yeah. He's like in America and he's falling in love with a girl that lives in this house in Epsom over Xbox, PlayStation, whatever it is, gaming, yeah. And then he's got a flight over, rocked up and The brother.
Yeah.
The brother.
Oh, there you go. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my mates were just, random people and lads from England that were quite cool, actually. So got on quite well with them. Had a Geordie mate. And in fact, that's where it started, my sort of appreciation, my second team love of Newcastle, because I had a Geordie mate that was very close.
I can't tell you where my love of Newcastle started.
Wink, wink. That will be one for one of the Q&As.
How are you, Pet?
He's just been watching Geordie Shore. That's all it is. That's all it is.
So
talking about, need to talk about this guy.
Yeah,
he looks very good.
But now, 17 years old. Does he come and even play for us? Like, how soon do we see this guy play for us? When was the last time a 17-year-old even played for Chelsea?
Well, what the experts are saying, and bear in mind he won't be able to join us until he's 18. That's the stipulation. That's the rule in FIFA. So
that's my rule as well.
That is your rule. You always live by that.
I won't entertain nothing under 18.
People are saying that this guy is so good that he might end up getting straight into the first team. That's how good they're saying he is. And they weren't saying that about Andre Santos. They weren't saying that about, Angelo Gabriel.
Can I say? Who is they?
All of these South American experts.
The universal day, is it?
So all of the South American experts, people that are watching this guy week in, week out, are saying that he has that ability. Now,
and what qualifies you as an expert?
Well, exactly. And it is interesting, isn't it? Because he's played twice in the Copa Libertadores. He's played 5 times in Serie A.
Hold on, the Copa what?
Copa Libertadores.
Oh,
sorry, I had to do the pronunciation.
Libertadores.
I had to do the pronunciation so you understand it. It's a big competition in South America, mate. Probably one of the biggest competitions. Where all of the South American teams play against each other. Effectively the Champions League in South America. Just saying.
It's a big deal.
That is a big deal. But he's only played twice. He's only played 5 times in the league. But do you know what? In those 2 games, he scored in the Copa Libertadores. He scored in Serie A. 17 years old.
Yeah.
Pretty decent.
That is pretty decent. Can I tell you my concern?
Tell me your concern.
We had the under-18s World Cup. Was it the under-18s, under-21s?
I think it was the under-20s.
It might have been the under-20s.
Yeah.
Might have been the under-20s. And 2 of the best teams in the tournament were Italy and Brazil, and 2 of the best players in the tournament were Casadei and Santos. So what do?
We buy both of them.
Which one would you like? Both, I think.
Yeah.
Do you want discount? No, thanks.
No.
So, yeah. And they didn't even get minutes for us,
I don't think Casadei had played men's football at the time. When we bought him.
Oh, was that before he transitioned?
Yeah. I don't think he played senior men's football.
Have you ever seen the thing of the footballers as women?
Yes, I have. And the managers as women as well.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that as a short.
There's a couple of footballers in there. We should do that as a short. There's a couple of ones where I'm like, yeah.
Pep was one that I think you'd go, yeah. Arteta was one. Definitely.
Yeah, Arteta. I think like Vardy looked rough. He was like rough.
Klopp looked rough.
There was one that was like, I can't remember who it was. Yeah, it was like Hector Bellerin or something. And I remember looking at it, and it was like him. AI had done him as a woman, and I remember thinking, nice.
You little perv.
Nice.
Well, let us know again in the comments if you want to see that short, because that sounds like a banger to me.
Let me know if you want to see me and old Hector Bellerin.
Yeah. I think what we got to talk about, mate, is the fact is, how is this guy going to get in the team? Because we haven't even said what position he is at the moment.
What position is he?
What position is your favourite, Joe?
Reverse cowgirl.
So apparently this guy's a right winger, which is a
sake.
shit sexual position as well.
Nice, easy position to get in the Chelsea team at right wing. I mean, we've only got Madueke there, Cole Palmer there, Christopher Nkunku there, and fucking who we got out on loan, Amari Hutchinson, Angelo.
Yeah,
we might as well just field right wingers.
So what we need to talk about now, bearing in mind that this guy's pretty much coming in and is going to be signed and has a huge reputation, is which of those players are going to get sold?
Well, first off the back, surely if your guy is this good, he can play more than one position, no?
So what they're saying is he's been predominantly a right winger, and he's a left-footed right winger as well, by the way. But he has also played as a cam.
Rings a bell.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. He can also play a cam, and people are saying that he could be coached to play on the left-hand side. But at the moment, he's only a right winger.
Right, okay.
So we could potentially fit him in as a number 10, but let's be honest, mate, we've got a lot of options at number 10.
Through the middle?
Through the middle what?
As
top?
in number 9?
Well, he's definitely not got the size and the sort of hold up ability to do that. I don't think many people are saying he's a striking option, but maybe maybe in time. I mean, a lot of people said,
Alan Shearer.
Well, yeah, exactly. A lot of people didn't say that Vinicius could play up top, but he played up top for Real Madrid last night, so that tells you everything you need to know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's good.
Who would you sell out of those options? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I honestly do think, and maybe we're jumping the gun a bit here, but I honestly do think that Hutchinson might be sold in the summer.
I think so too.
In the summer.
Yeah.
Is that gutting?
Do you want me to be honest?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Not really.
Which is funny though, because you really like this guy.
I do really like him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just I'm a realist. Like, well, actually, that's probably the last thing I am as a realist. When you see how gassed up I get when Chelsea win a game against a relegation battle team or something. But what I would say is, mate, if you put Noni Madueke on a season-long loan to Ipswich, what do you think he does?
I think he rips it up.
I think he probably finishes fucking championship top goals.
I think he'd be player of the season, yeah.
Do you know
I think
what I mean?
Noni is a level up. But is that because he's older and more experienced?
But he's not that much older. He's not.
I think he's a couple of years older, which does make in going from sort of boys football to men's football does make a big difference.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm surprised because you quite liked Hutchinson and you've been going on about him all season.
Yeah, no, I like him. I do like him, but I like loads of players that don't play for Chelsea. Like, you know what I mean? Do I see an avenue for Amari Hutchinson into the first team barring injuries? No, sorry, I don't. I don't really barring injuries, because all I'm saying is, for example, if Noni Madueke, if Cole Palmer, if Christopher Nkunku, and I get this would never happen, but if all of them went out to Ipswich on loan this season, I'm sure they'd at minimum replicate what he's done and potentially do a lot more, right? So I'm sure he could get his way into the first team, and I'm sure if there was key injuries or whatever, he could be a very useful player to us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, am I gutted that we sold Callum Hudson-Odoi? Well, no, the only actual thing I'm gutted about is the fact we got fucking 5 million for him, because it should have been 4 times that. We should have got 20 mil minimum for him. But what I'm saying is, I'm not gutted about it. So I'm only being honest. I'm like ideal scenario, every young player that's doing well for us ends up in the first team and plays for us, and we've got a core of, but he's not a Cobham boy anyway, is he?
No, he's not. And I think, do you know what, mate? I was thinking about this on the way over here, like ranking these options, right? Because we've got Cole Palmer, Madueke, Kendry Pies, Angelo Gabriel, Hutchinson, and this guy Estavio, right?
We've got a lot of mutual interests, me, you, and Kendry Pies.
Oh yeah, what was Kendry's key interest?
Just
what does he love doing, Joey? Like when he goes, when he's sort of letting his hair down, what's he like doing?
Hookers mostly.
Tell him the story. Do you know what? This goes back.
He got caught out.
Yeah.
You tell the story. You're better.
Well, it's really simple. It's really simple, to be fair. There was an international duty. They were in the States, Miami. This happened a couple of months ago. We talked about it on the podcast, actually. And he got caught with all of his mates, and they took him to a strip club. And he was 16. So he was in big trouble.
That is big trouble.
Yeah, he was in big
trouble. Do
trouble.
you know what? I find that awful. And I think that's absolutely disgusting.
You'd never do that.
Do you know how detested by that I am? I'm going to visit that strip club and give the owner a piece of my mind. Can you get the address for me?
Yeah, and the girls a piece of your mind as well. Just make sure everyone in the club
I'll give them a piece of a lot more than my mind.
So I've
not got that sort of money.
Yeah, exactly. You don't. I was thinking about ranking those, and I honestly do.
Strippers?
Yeah, ranking the strippers.
Oh, the players.
Out of 10,
yeah.
I honestly do think that Cole is going to have to go and play as a centre attacking mid. And as I've always said, I think he's a better option there anyway. And then you've got Noni against Kendry, and then you've got this guy coming in as well. I think those are probably the best options. So that means that Angelo and Hutchinson, they're either going to have to go on loan or they're going to have to get sold.
Yeah. And also, by the way, like, even when these players do get sold, don't be surprised. Like, honestly, don't be surprised. I think that if anyone was watching the spending spree under Todd Bowley and thinking that every player that we spent money on was bought in to play for Chelsea, that's not how it works, They're using more of the American model, where they're bringing guys in and harbouring them, giving them a roof over their head to then move them on at a better price. And ultimately, what you need to understand, no one wants to be in the situation we're in with some of these things, but I feel like what you need to understand is a lot of the big name signings have decreased in value,
Yeah.
We can argue it now, But I'm just being honest.
So true.
And this isn't me being a dickhead towards him or whatever. Enzo's decreased in value. Can he get back there? Yeah, he probably can.
Yeah.
Your boy Mykhailo Mudryk has decreased
definitely,
in value.
definitely.
Yeah. And then there's key players like Cole Palmer and Oni Madueke and obviously.
Gusto
was on the cheap.
Yeah.
Probably
Petrovic as well.
Like there's so many players that have increased in value.
Yeah.
But we don't want to sell them guys.
No.
So uncomfortable decisions need to be made at some point. And if that decision is, right, Swansea want to offer us 10 million for Bashir Humphreys, Ipswich want to, or another club even, want to offer us 25 mil, 30 mil for Amari Hutchinson, whatever. At some point, we're going to have to sell some of these lot. Because you can't field 50 players. We're going to have to take a hit on some of them. So why not take a drink on the ones that we can?
100%. I think that's almost part of the strategy now, where we're going to get players, try and get them on the cheap when they're as young as possible, and then we'll offload them. So yeah, I do think it's inevitable now. It's just the fact, mate, and in a weird way, maybe we're going to have to end up signing another player because these players are so young, you don't know how good they're going to be. So it is just weird, though. I do find it a little bit concerning that we are getting so much talent in one particular area, because it doesn't feel like we're signing the next big striker option. Do you know what I mean? Or like even on the left-hand side, we're not really signing sort of depth in the left-hand side. I'd actually say the left-hand side at the moment is one of the weaker areas because Sterling is going to go. Yep. You know, Mudryk, where the jury's still out on.
It is a weak area.
Yeah.
It is a weak area to a point where we almost need a left winger.
Yeah.
But I'm sort of hopeful with Nkunku going over there, maybe. But at the end of the day, I say all of that. Nicholas Jackson's the best left winger at the club. I know
agreed.
you don't. I know.
No, I agree.
He is the best left winger at the club for me. So it is what it is. But what we're going to do is we are going to do an episode where we break down incomings. We're going to break down positions that we feel need addressing, and maybe give a few suggestions. So when should we do that? Should we do that next week? Record it Tuesday?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, let's do that.
Record it Tuesday. We'll give it to you lot on Tuesday. But
like
we're also going to be doing one that we're recording today. Players that need to leave the club. The last thing we're going to do in this video is speak on the man who has been persistently and consistently... What is the difference between them two? Persistent, consistent?
I mean, it's kind of similar in that example.
So, persistently and consistently linked with Chelsea, and that is Victor Osimhen.
We've been talking about this guy for a long time. We were talking about him last summer.
Well, you heard the news that basically Chelsea are willing to offer Lukaku and a young player, unnamed young player, to sort of sweeten the deal and to get it over the line. Now,
plus a bit of cash.
Well,
don't forget that.
Well, okay. So let's say, for example, Lukaku market value
30 million is the release clause. Right, so you'd say about that.
Call it 30. Call it 30. Yeah. And then the young player being... Have you got any suggestions?
Well, you've got an option, haven't you? Well,
I have got an option, but you gave me an option as well.
Well,
Let me
for me, the one that makes the most sense, I'm looking at the squads, and I wouldn't love to offload one of these young players, but I think if you're looking at it, there's an Italian option there, could go back to Italy, and we've got a lot of centre mids. Let's swap one for a striker. I'd go Cesare Casadei. Which is so horrible because I really like this guy. And I think this guy's got a very, very big future, by the way. The problem with him at the moment is how does he fit into our team? Because he feels like he's sort of like a number 10 almost. Yeah. But we need 2 6s in that position. So he either needs to learn that or he needs to become an unbelievable number 10. And I don't know where that's going to come. So I could see the club potentially looking at that and going...
On a permanent.
Well, that's what they're talking about, isn't it? That's what they're talking about. I like I said, I wouldn't condone it, but do you know what, mate? If the fee is Lukaku plus 80 million euros, which is 80 to 90 is what they're talking about. 80 to 90, I don't know if we have.
I don't want to spend that.
I don't want to spend that either.
So you think if you've done Lukaku and Casadei, you think that we'd then pay how much cash? 40?
I mean, no, I don't think it would be that much. I don't think we'd save that much. I think it would still be 60.
That's mental.
Yeah.
I think Casadei might go on to be tops. Very good player.
I agree.
Very, very good player. So if I was going to do one along that mould, I would actually more so try and give him Ugachukwu. And I actually rate Ugachukwu. I think he's been decent. But if we're going on about young players that one we could give him, I'd maybe go, look, you have Ugachukwu. Other suggestions, I'm not sure they'd want it. I don't know what they need. But, and I just can never see this happening because I could never picture this player landing at that club. What's their left backs like?
Who are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
Who are you talking about?
Chill Dog?
Yeah, Chill Dog. You're just trying to offload him left, right, centre now, aren't you?
No.
You got so sick
Chile
of Chile.
Lukaku?
Yeah.
Fuck
No,
me. Surely you wouldn't be having to. Surely that'd get you down to just like 40 million.
I mean, they should be paying us.
I'll tell you one more. Right? It looks like he's very eager to leave now. He's gone and had a taste of football at a good level. But Borussia Dortmund are potentially maybe not willing to pay the price that we have laid on the head of Ian Maatsen. A price, by the way, that's too fucking cheap. Too cheap. 35 odd million for Ian Maatsen. I want 60 for him. Yeah? So how about this? Borussia Dortmund. You had your chance, mate. We give you a player. He won the Champions League for you, which is going to happen in the final, in my belief. And then, right, you don't even want to pay out the money. We give you the goods. You pay the fucking money and don't ask questions. But if not, mate, if we gave Napoli, Romelu Lukaku and Ian Maatsen...
That's a great deal.
That's it, by the way.
That's a great deal.
No, Romelu Lukaku and Ian Maatsen, 20 mil, 40 mil, whatever. No, you give me Osimhen, I give you Rom and Ian. Yeah?
Yep. I like it. The thing with that is it doesn't help with FFP.
Victor for Ian.
Yeah, exactly. It works.
Yeah. It does, doesn't it?
We'd have to sell Lukaku and Maatsen for their release clauses, so 30 million each, and then ask for Osimhen for that. Spend 60 million. But like, let's be honest, he's going to be worth more than that. So we'd probably still have to fork out some money, mate. We'd have to fork out some money. We'd have to fork out some money.
You watched him much this season?
Who? Victor Osimhen? He looks fucking great, mate. Come on. He looks great.
Same non-penalty goals, Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah, which I loved. Yeah, fair enough, right? And well done. You've done your research. Do you know what, mate? The thing that I'm imagining in my head right now is Gusto or Reece James running down the wing, whipping a ball in. Do we fancy Nicholas Jackson to score the header? Not sure. Victor Osimhen gets that header.
A lot of lazy analysis going on around Nicholas Jackson, by the way, because one of the ones I was watching the other day, it could have been TalkSport for my sins.
I mean, yeah.
And it was like, whoever was talking, saying, oh, yeah, well, that's the problem, Nicholas Jackson, he can't head a ball for love nor money. And it's like, are you... Okay.
Have you seen him? Yeah.
Did you watch him away at Villa?
Yeah.
Did you watch him in the last game?
Yeah. He's very strong as well.
He's a great player.
He's very good.
Absolute great player.
Yeah.
People, let us know your thoughts in the comment section on everything we spoke about. Are you excited for Estavio, the wonder kid? What do you think we need to do to get the Osimhen deal over the line? Or are you even bothered about Osimhen? Because a lot of people now are looking at the way that things are going and they're not that fussed, possibly including me. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Head over to Josh's channel. It is linked in the description. I'll tell you what else is linked in the description.
Steak, mate.
Steak, mate. The link's in the description. You're going to put an accumulator on this weekend. Make sure you do it through them. Take a screenshot, tag me in it. I'll repost it on my story. I'll see you all in the next one.